Welcome once again back to the lab. It is your old Professor Pilk, and of course we need to talk about the Metagross raid that just dropped in the game. We did talk about a little bit of this last night, and let's kind of cover the things that were right and wrong about our predictions. Number one, I predicted you would have Clear Body. 100% is Clear Body, so you won't be able to debuff this guy. That does present some problems, but it's going to overall be okay. I think we have a great way to mitigate this. Number two, I did predict he would have Zen Headbutt as his Psychic move. He has Zen Headbutt as a Psychic move. I said there's a high probability he would have Earthquake. He does have Earthquake. Now, I predicted Ice Punch, and I feel like a fool because I should have predicted Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch makes so much more sense because with Earthquake, obviously your temptation is to use a flying Pokemon. Thunder Punch would be super effective. So, Thunder Punch makes a lot more sense. Yeah, of course he has Thunder Punch. Now, I did not predict Meteor Mash as the Steel move, but he does use Meteor Mash. But as I told you guys, you want to use some of the special attacking. Man, did they ever hammer that home. Dude opens up with Hone Claws, basically to increase his offensive capability. He also does Iron Defense basically right out of the gate so many times, he'll max out his physical defense. You want to use a special attacker. Now, the downside is towards the end of the fight, he'll try to drag things out by using Light Screen, but by that point, it won't be an issue. Now, let's talk about the mod that we're going to bring to this fight. Initially, I was going to bring Armorage, but I actually wound up bringing Hydreigon. Hydreigon makes so much sense here. Hydreigon is going to completely resist Earth, and he's going to resist Psychic. So both of those are completely out of the window. So Earthquake and Zen Headbutt are never going to be factors. Ever. Now, he will resist Thunder Punch, but he takes normal damage from Meteor Mash. Now, I do have a way we can kind of mitigate that. However, let's talk about the Hydreigon build first, and we'll talk about the mitigation of Meteor Mash in a moment. My Hydreigon, I'm using a Stellar Terra. Now, you could, in theory, use an Earth Terra. I think it's a mistake, but if you don't have the DLC, Earth Terra is an option for you. It's just going to make the fight a little bit harder. Also, I'm using a Shell Bell here to kind of gain back any damage I'm producing as HP, just to kind of mitigate those particular situations. Now, training-wise, obviously I've done a modest mint to up my special attack and lower my attack, because we're not doing any physical attacks in this situation. EV training, I've gone an all-in special attack and defense. That just basically makes sure that we're producing enough damage to heal, and that we're not taking nearly as much damage from his physical hits. Now, moveset wise, this is where things get interesting, where you kind of got to use, well, let's just jump in. So moveset wise, we're using Earth Power as our main DPS. Now, Earth Power normally has a chance to lower special defense, but the Clear Body is going to prevent that, so it's not going to be a factor. However, we also have Flamethrower. Now, remember, you don't really want to use a fire type here, as far as I could kind of surmise. What you'll do is you'll basically make Meteor Mash less of a factor. But if you kind of go about this, it's already not a factor the way I'm going to go about it. But it will then make Thunder Punch and Zen Headbutt a whole thing. Whereas I think Earth Power leaves you a little bit, or Ground type leaves you a little bit less susceptible. Personal opinion. But Earth Power was our main DPS. Flamethrower, because we can still inflict the burn and lower his attack stat. Also, Reflect to kind of mitigate some of that incoming damage early on in the match. And Nasty Plot is our one and only buff move. Now, you kind of have to do this in a special order. Let's talk about it. Let's jump into the battle. Okay, this is actually a perfect situation. So right out of the gate, I'm looking for either Arcanine or Staraptor. Not for the Intimidate, because Intimidate's not going to be a factor with Clear Body. But they represent two really interesting situations. Number one, Arcanine is going to resist Meteor Mash, which makes Meteor Mash, in my opinion, I've seen it done a little bit less. In fact, typically Metagross will only do it twice here at the opening with Arcanine or Staraptor in play. Number one, Arcanine resists. Number two, Staraptor is weak to... let's open up with Reflect real quick. Staraptor is weak to the Thunder Punch, so it once again encourages him to do that more often. So, in both these situations, Thunder Punch kind of becomes the main DPS that he's kind of relying on here. Oh, he's burned too right out of the gate. Oh, I love it. You know what? I'm going to nasty plot. With burn in play, now normally I do flamethrower and try to instill the burn, but with burn in play and reflect, we shouldn't take very much damage. Now from the next turn on, he should use almost exclusively that Thunder Punch. So let's see what happens here. Let's do a flamethrower. Now we don't necessarily need to hit him with a burn. We've already burned him. But essentially I need to get to the point where I can Terastallize. I do want one more nasty plot. There's Thunder Punch. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and nasty plot one more time. 2 nasty plots will be good enough to break his barrier. 3 is excellent. But we also need to Terastallize soon. There's another Thunder Punch. And we do need to heal as well. Notice how much he does Iron Defense. That's why I say you really can't kind of rely on that so much. But let's hit him with another Flamethrower. Let's see. Where is our Reflect? Because we need to make sure that Reflect stays in play. Reflect is down. So let's put it back up. We're faster than him, so we're still good. The burn is doing its job. The burn is excellent. I'm going to go ahead and Cheer Heal on this turn. Just get a little bit more health back in. Would be nice if we had a healer, but not an option at this point. But we should be good here. So the timer's in our favor. The abilities are in our favor. Everything seems to be really awesome at this point. Send him with another Flamethrower. We're just taking him down piece by piece, little by little. Now, if he does happen to paralyze you, you can use a Cheer Heal. Come on, Terastallize. There we go. You can use a Cheer Heal to mitigate that. So it's not the end of the world, but I only have 2 Cheer Heals left, so I got to kind of play those a little coy. But now that we're Terastallized, we'll start earning health back like crazy. Now, both Flamethrower and Earth Power are going to basically regain those abilities for us, or regain that HP for us. I'm probably going to start relying on Earth Power a little bit more. We do want to get the burn back on him when he kind of changes all the stats here in a moment. Ooh, there's that para. Where's our... We still have Reflect for 2 turns. Let's hit him with an Earth Power. Okay, excellent. That breaks his barrier. Now he will mitigate stat changes on us here in a moment. Here we are. Now I need to be faster than him, so we're going to go ahead and Cheer Heal. He will have the burn. He's got about 10% HP left before he mitigates that burn. So at this point, essentially, we want to go ahead and start nasty plotting up, but pretty soon we're going to need to go ahead and inflict him with the burn. So let's go ahead and nasty plot. We'll take advantage of the burn while it's in place. Nasty plot again. Now, with his barrier down, I'm not super worried about this because we'll be able to take him out real fast once we have our 3rd nasty plot, so let's do that again. Now, you won't always be able to get that burn right out of the gate. Sometimes you have to take a turn 3 L and basically come back in with fresh stats and everything. But, all right. There's where he removes the burn from himself. We got to hit him with a Flamethrower and try to get that burn back. Bam. Now, if you're on an Earth Terra, you can just hit him with Earth Power and over again. and then just put the reflect back up. Me, I'm going to try to get that burn back. Oof, the para. All right, there's his light screen. You know what? I'm going to get... let's hit him with the flamethrower. Hopefully the para doesn't actually stop us. There we go. I have had a couple practice runs where the para stopped me for several turns. Highly annoying, but shouldn't happen. Let's go again. And one more hit and we're good. When we have enough HP, I don't have to mess with it. I don't have to worry about the para at this point. I'll just go ahead and sheer heal out of the para, and then we'll hit him next turn and take him out. So, clean, clear. Just a nice little way to finish off the fight. Now, I did say Earth Power would be our DPS. I did use Flamethrower quite a bit more than Earth Power. But if you are an Earth Terror, you want to use Earth Power a lot, and you want to use Reflect more than I have. You just kind of will have to play around with it a little bit more for it to be that effective. But the nice part about the Stellar Terra is it allows us to go back and forth between the two moves. So there you guys go. Not a big deal. It's going to be a fight. I won't lie. It took a couple of practice runs to get this down properly, but you know, it's a total absolute thing. Now, I do have a couple other builds that I think are going to be better. I think we're catching them all in heal balls, so we'll do them in a heal ball. Let's go. I think we're catching all the pseudos in the heal balls. Boom! That is another pseudo down. Awesome. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys comment. And share this out to anybody else who's having a problem with it. Easy peasy, and especially if you got 4 of these guys. Catch you on the next one.